Now, here are your hosts, Hank Davis and Mello Betts.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Season 7 of Mello's NFL Weekly. I'm former professional athlete Hank Davis, and joining me on the line, he's our resident professor of sports, and we call him the gambling guru. He's Mello Betts. How are you, my friend?
I'm so excited, I just can't hide it.
You're about to lose control, and
I just can't fight it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. No, that's supposed to be the last show of the season where we break into song.
Okay.
We've kind of got it twisted here. Mello, how was your off season?
I felt a little off, really. missing my football, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you didn't want to watch World Championship badminton.
Oh, my word. Not when they're throwing games, I didn't. No.
Well, we'll see some throwing games Sunday. So, speaking of throwing games, shall we get to the news, my friend?
Yes, sir.
It's time for the news, a roundup of all the biggest headlines.
All right, thank you, Wayne. Mello, we're going to start out with the overturning of the Jonathan Vilma, Scott Fujita, and Will Smith case. So their suspensions have been overturned. And that also includes Anthony Hargrove, but he's not with the team right now, so I don't know if he counts so much. So the Saints Smith and the Browns Fujita will probably play Sunday's season openers, but Vilma plans to attend Sunday's home game against the Redskins, but he's at least a week or two away from being ready from that knee injury he has. And then Hargrove, well, he's kind of got to find a team first. But he's cleared to be back in action. Mello, this to me was kind of, whenever somebody goes to a mediator, I always feel like, you know what, Daddy said no, let's see what Mom says.
Nice analogy.
I can't stand this kind of stuff because it makes it seem like Goodell has no power. You can
I was shocked myself.
Well, you can always go behind them and then sue and keep suing and keep trying to get an appeal and all this stuff. And it's just annoying to me. What are your thoughts?
Why wasn't this a bigger deal as far as when was the ruling coming out? I mean, it was like, bam, here's the ruling. I'm like, what ruling? What are we talking about? What are we talking about here? What's this triumvirate we got going here that I didn't really know about? I mean, they said, that it was going to that, but they didn't say when the deadline was. The deadline just happens to be right before we're going to play this first game, really.
Just so you can conveniently enough get back on the field. I always find that just so amazing how that works.
Yeah, there's some instances where that just lines up just perfectly, isn't it?
So what's the point of a commissioner if he is, if he can be usurped, his authority can be usurped?
I think they were saying, like what you had said and stuff, that this guy's seems like he's kind of overstepping his bounds on a few things, or he thinks he's a almighty dictator and stuff. I think they're trying to reel this fish back in here.
You think he's riding around with Indama Kitsu going, oh, I wouldn't take that turn so sharply. I'd go slower here. You remember you got into trouble at this point.
Oh, my word.
He's just micromanaging everything. Slaps the package of cookies out of your hands when you go to eat some cookies. You're a big defensive lineman. You're 30 pounds overweight, and he just smacks them cookies out of your hands.
I wouldn't put it past the commish.
He's got the badge, I'll tell you that much.
He do.
New York Jets coach Rex Ryan made one final guarantee. His days of making guarantees are finished.
I like that one.
This is a guarantee I can get behind, Mello. What about you?
Yes, sir. Because I think you get distracted on whether or not he's a good coach because he's always running his mouth. Now, shut up and let's see what kind of coach you are.
Yes. Exactly. I'm all for him zipping his lips. And you know what? If they do really well and I'm wrong about how they're going to do this season, what a great surprise. I'd be fine with it if they're going to just be quiet and go out there and try to win games like everybody else is trying to do.
I'm sticking to my guns that this whole thing has been them playing possum through this whole thing here. That they really are going to do well this season, and it's not going to blow up in their faces. I really believe that.
And if they do it and they're cool about it, I'll have no problem. But when they start all jawing and their whole team is just, page 1 through 4 of the New York edition or whatever, it just gets annoying. And you just want to see them do bad when they start bragging and talking all that smack. Ooh,
if they pull this off, I will do the chant that I haven't done in over a decade.
Ooh.
Jets, 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 Jets.
Yes, and I'll pick them on Madden like I used to in the old days. The Dallas Cowboys are the NFL's first and only $2 billion franchise. Mello, $2 billion. Isn't that awesome?
That is, and I don't know who's a Dallas fan. I guess I'm in an area where they're just not a lot of Dallas fans around me, so I don't know who's buying all their merchandise and pumping them up, but somebody loves them somewhere. Can't just be Texas.
Yeah, it can't be. So their estimated value is $2.1 billion, and Forbes says that's a conservative estimate.
Wow. Not bad.
Keep this in mind, people. Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys in 1989 for $140 million.
He's getting a little return on his investment.
Yeah, roughly 715%.
Not bad. I worked at a place where we ran off percentages like that.
Usually in the red, though, right?
Yeah.
Of course, that factors in inflation and all that stuff. So this is the 6th consecutive year that the Cowboys are at the top. Now, the Patriots are worth $1.63 billion. They passed the Washington Redskins, which are $1.6 billion flat for the second spot. The Giants are valued at $1.46 billion. They landed in 4th, while the Houston Texans rounded out the top 5 at $1.3 billion. Mello, the Cincinnati Bengals worth $871 million compared to $875 million last season, are the only team that lost value. And I'm pretty sure my Raiders were number 30 out of 32.
Oh no.
It was pretty bad at the bottom there.
You guys got all the gangbangers buying your merchandise, so that should help though.
Yeah, the lawsuits though. It really hurts.
Oh, okay.
You can't really fire a gangbanger for cause. Like the old man did. All right, the NFL has pledged $30 million for medical research to the Foundation for the National Institutes of Health. Commissioner Roger Goodell announced Wednesday the donation to the foundation, which helps raise private funding for the NIH, the nation's leading medical research agency. The research is designed to benefit athletes and the general population, including members of the military as well, Goodell said. So this is for the CTE, the concussions that, have been a big topic of debate over the last few years now. Mello, do you think this is at least a start here? When you think about the league and then you think about research and you think about the money the league makes as opposed to the money they donate, what are your thoughts?
I think you know my thoughts on this. I think this is called covering your tracks. This is called throwing a couple cents into the wishing well here. I mean, for the kind of money that this league makes, and since they knew about all this stuff beforehand, it's just everything I hear about this is just so upsetting to me, really.
Yeah, it's a little irritating to me as well when I look at it from a sense of what the league's value is and what they put into these types of funds for getting, I'm sure you can do a ton of stuff with $30 million, but come on, man. Let's think of all the people whose lives are just ruined.
Yeah.
Ruined over this.
They're in a tough situation because at no point can they say, well, we knew about all this. I mean, they're past the point of no return. They can't, and we were having a discussion on helmets. I was with someone the other day, and they said, well, yeah, when they went to that, the metal helmets and stuff over the leather and stuff, then guys started launching themselves and turning the helmet into a weapon. And they could have stopped it then, but they did not do so because people love the big hits.
Oh, not good. Art Modell will be recognized Sunday by the team he moved to Baltimore. The Cleveland Browns plan to have an appropriate recognition for the late Modell at the season opener against the Philadelphia Eagles. Modell died Thursday at the age of 87 from natural causes. Now, he does remain a vilified figure in Ohio for moving the Browns to Maryland after the 1995 season. Everybody remembers this situation, everybody that was a football fan at the time.
Yeah.
Middle of the night, adios.
Yep.
We got to move. Mello, is it time to just bygones to be bygones and the fans to just get over this?
Hey, I've been Bernie Kosar, Brian Sight. I've been a Cleveland fan for a long time and stuff. I let it go a long time ago. And I think the thing that people aren't understanding is he left the records, the Cleveland Brown records and stuff. Those stayed there. So when they got the franchise back, things were still intact and stuff. The city powers that would not help with the stadium deal is why that moved, and Baltimore wanted the team, so he moved and they changed, got the Baltimore Ravens name. He left the other stuff intact, and they have a team there now. They won't let it go, and people are just, I heard some really nasty, terrible things, and I am scared if they're going to do a moment of silence. I don't think you're going to get a moment of silence out of those people because, it's Cleveland. You know how they can be.
Yeah, they get a little testy. We can attest to that. If you've ever been down there for you're a visiting team fan and you've gone down there, you get it from all angles.
Down there for a family reunion and they're after me. Come on now.
Yeah, I was kind of talking about that. All right. But here's one thing I want people to understand. Look at the product that you got out of that move, the Ravens.
Right.
You got to now you still have your franchise back. And what a great product. Yeah, they're in your division. Do something about it.
Yeah.
Don't just get mad. Beat them. Beat them on the
field.
Move
to Baltimore, and look at that. They get a championship not that long after that. Come on now.
Beat them on the field. Put a jersey on.
Yeah.
The Minnesota Vikings have made a formal bid to host the Super Bowl. NFL spokesman Greg Aiello confirmed Friday that the team has applied to host either the 2018, 2019, or 2020 Super Bowls. Oh, my goodness, Mello. Should they get one?
Yes.
Or is this...
And I'm tired of these candy butts with we don't want it in the cold weather. They might snow or something.
Is this just the catalyst to get that $975 million stadium?
Well, yeah, it is. But come on now. I just like that the cold weather teams get their fair shot at it because one at Miami. Come on. I don't want it down there anymore. It's just, that's old hat, man.
You could see Celine Dion now.
Oh, I've seen her in Vegas 5 or 6 different times.
She was at the window just like you, probably. I've got a strong feeling. The Minnesota Vikings are willing to wait until game time to determine whether running back Adrian Peterson plays in the season opener against Jacksonville. Coach Leslie Frazier had said earlier in the week that they'll know by Friday if he's going to play or not. And then Friday he said, we'll figure it out before game time.
Boy, he's gone to the Bill Belichick school of telling stories.
Well,
now.
That's not how it was portrayed because on some other news stories that I watched earlier today, they laid it out like, Leslie Frazier waffles on whether or not Adrian Peterson will be active or not. And I'm like, they're setting the groundwork. Do you expect Leslie to be done this season at the end?
I really don't have a good feel on that one. I don't have a good read on that situation, but I haven't heard anything to make me think that he's, one of my hot seat guys. That he's in a Norv Turner type position.
Oh, man. Win or go home. Yeah, I think he's going to be done after this season.
Okay.
I'm not a Nostradamus type of figure or anything like that, but I can see this one in the cards.
When should we start the watch then?
I would say week 6.
Okay.
We'll start just really pay attention to the headlines, how they word it. Coach fails to get win. Stuff like that. It's almost time, Leslie.
When the noun is coach and the verb is failed, you're in trouble, baby.
Oh, awesome. Oh, Mello, we're going to end the news on a doozy of a story. Maurice Jones-Drew has been briefed. He has heard all about Mike Mularkey's touchdown policy, the one in which the Jacksonville Jaguars coach donates money to charity every time a player scores and hands the ball to an official without any kind of celebration. Jones-Drew chuckled when asked whether he's going to comply with Mularkey's request. "We're entertainers, but at the same time, I'm coachable," Jones-Drew said.
Oh boy.
You already know where this is headed, don't you, Mello? Do we even need to speculate where this is gonna go?
Is he gonna have a real big time celebration ready for this first touchdown or
Oh
what?
man, let somebody be careful. There could be overhead planes flying by. Anything. Mello, are you ready to go to our segment, Turn Off the Twitter?
Oh yes.
All right, so every now and then, these NFL players, they get on the Twitter, they get a little belligerent or something, and Mello and I talk about it. So the NFL has a rule about not tweeting 90 minutes before a game. I am kind of in the school of thought where maybe it should be 10,080 minutes before a game, which would be not at all.
Okay.
So Chad Johnson had a harsh reality following being cut by the Miami Dolphins. This was the first time in the past 11 years he isn't a character in the popular video game Madden. Johnson tweeted, "It's that awkward moment when you realize you're not on Madden 13 and you have to create yourself." So, Mello, going through a divorce, being cut, going to jail, none of that registers that you're going down the wrong path. But having to create yourself in a video game, that's what wakes you up. That's the wake-up call.
I think that says a lot about Chad, doesn't it?
Goodness, it's a little bit about me. My goodness, that's some silliness. Every now and then, folks, if you've been with us for any of the last 6 seasons, I like to throw caution into the wind, and I like to try, some sort of a new, maybe a new little segment or something. I'm going to throw this one out there, and you guys will have to let us know if you like it or don't like it. But I call this one, That's Not Football. Giants rookie David Wilson lost a fumble on his second career carry, and he was feeling so badly about it, he began crying on the sidelines. Mello?
That's not football. That is not football. There's no crying in football. What the? Huh?
Ben Roethlisberger is about to become a dad, and he's not taking the life-changing event lightly. That includes being present for his son's arrival, even if it means missing a game. "I'm not missing the birth of my child," he said. "There's no chance. I know some fans probably don't want to hear that, but there's no chance." Mello?
That's not football, baby.
You know what? You should be delivering the baby with one hand and throwing like a 70-yard touchdown pass with the other.
Hut, hut, hut. Do I throw the baby or the football?
Exactly. The Lambeau Leap is a tradition unlike any other in sports. Packers players have a seemingly close connection with their fans, and probably closer than any other team. However, Greg Jennings reminded us that there are some negatives to the most famous touchdown celebration in football. "I try to go away from the men because the men get a little grabby," Jennings says. "The women get grabby too, but them men, it's like, come on, really? Seriously? I'm another guy." Mello?
That is not football, boy. That ain't football. No.
Oh, folks, you'll have to let us know what you think about that segment. Mello, it's time for the rap sheet.
Uh-oh.
Calling all cars, calling all cars. Be advised, we have NFL players on the loose.
Just a couple of stories on the rap sheet this week because, the NFL season isn't quite in full swing yet, but don't worry. Once it gets done, this will be bigger than the news section. The federal judge who oversaw NFL labor matters for almost 2 decades is considering a lawsuit brought by the NFL Players Association that accuses the league of collusion. The players claim the NFL conspired to hold down salaries in 2010 with a secret salary cap. Ooh.
No, that's holding them down? Holy moly now.
Hey, do we get decoder rings? If you're in, wink twice. If you're not, just get the heck out of this meeting.
Synchronize our watches. 5:30, 2:32.
Is that Eastern or Pacific? If you're going to start an NFL line themed of clothing, the NFL Team Champions collection. Now, it's probably a good idea that you know who the champions are. Old Navy's historical accuracy leaves a lot to be desired. Old Navy has crowned the Houston Texans the 1961 AFC champions. Now, there's 2 problems with that. The Texans weren't a franchise in 1961, and there was no such thing as the AFC in 1961. Freaking idiots.
Oh, man. Do your homework.
So the mistakes aren't limited to the Texans shirts, as Old Navy has called the Detroit Lions the 1957 NFC champions, and the Cleveland Browns the 1964 NFC champions. They also crowned the 68 Jets and the 1969 Chiefs NFL champions. You might want to skip ahead a year each.
Oh, boy. No research department in those places, man. Wasn't in the budget.
Oh, you remember in the middle of the night when Cleveland moved from the NFC to the AFC?
Mm-hmm.
Stupid. It's just pricelessly stupid. They should get sued. I hope they do. Mello, anything before we make our picks here?
I'm ready to pick them, baby.
Oh, Wayne, do us our little service so we don't get sued.
It's time to pick 'em. Remember, picks are made for entertainment purposes only.
All right, Mello, it is time. We both went our 1-0 so far. We had both of us took Dallas getting 3.5. So that was off air, off screen, but it did happen. Trust us.
Yeah, like a tree falling in the woods. They didn't hear us, but we still know that tree fell.
Oh, nice. All right, Mello, at Cleveland, the Bears are going to lay 10 points to the Indianapolis Colts. Mello, I'm taking Cleveland, even though this is a double-digit spread, even though luck could bring some luck. I'm still going to take the Chicago Bears to cover this. Who you got?
I got the other team in this one. I'm not liking big point spreads in the first week of the season. It's my belief that you're lucky to win a game. So, so many different things could go wrong. So I am not going to try to cover a big point spread right away here. I might try to cover a few, but not this one, no.
Okay. Philadelphia, the Eagles, they're going to lay 9 at Cleveland. I think Philadelphia has just got way too much firepower. And I think defensively, they'll hold Cleveland down. Give me Philadelphia to start out strong. Who you taking?
I'm anti-wide 9, so I'm going to say that 9 points is 9 points against a team that runs a wide 9 defense is enough. I'm taking Cleveland in this one. If anybody can make sense of that, I can.
Nice. At New York Jets. The Jets are going to lay 3 points to the visiting Buffalo Bills. I'm taking Buffalo, Mello. I'm taking them. They're going to come in there, and I'm a little nervous for the Jets because if they really can't score touchdowns, this could be bad for them. Who are you taking?
I'm sticking with my playing possum here. You're going to see the Jets. You're going to see them get busy now. You're going to be excited. You're going to say, wow, I didn't know they could do all that. Man, you might not really say that, but I'm taking the Jets to cover, yeah.
What was that? That was a flea flicker. At New Orleans, the Saints are going to lay 7.5. That should be what, about 7,500 in the Bounty locker room?
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't right. They're going to lay 7.5 to the Washington Redskins. Mello, what's the Washington Redskins quarterback's name to you?
Bob Griffin. Yeah.
Bob Griffin, yeah. I'm taking Bob Griffin. Yeah, Bob Griffin here.
Yeah.
I'm taking him. And I'm taking that 7.5. That's just too much. Who you got?
Yeah, I think they want to pump you up with New Orleans at home. They're going to be charged up. They're getting guys back. And don't believe all that hype. I think it's going to be a lot closer game than that. I got Washington as well.
You choked me up on that one. Oh, my gosh. New England is going to lay 5.5 at Tennessee. I'm taking the Patriots. Who you taking?
They are a team built to destroy teams during the regular season. I'm just not in love with Tennessee at this point. I think they're, middle of the pack kind of team. I think New England lights them up.
Okay, somebody's going to be cleaning out their locker. Get it?
Yeah.
At Minnesota, Leslie Frazier's team is going to lay an egg -3.5. And they'll face Jacksonville. I'm taking some touchdown celebrations. Some good old hand the ref the ball celebrations. I'm taking Jacksonville, getting the 3.5. Who are you taking?
Battle of the bad quarterbacks, but I have my sources say that this is Blaine Gabbert 2.0, that he looks so much better than he did last year. I pondered on this,
Nice.
and I'm going with Jacksonville as well.
Nice. At Houston, the 1961. No, just kidding. The Texans, they're going to be inside the friendly confines of Barbecue Sauce Stadium.
No.
They're going to lay 12 large to the Miami Dolphins. Can you name one wide receiver for
No, I was trying to think of that last night. And
the tall, skinny guy.
yeah, that one dude.
I'm going to take the Texans. They're at home. They're playing a bad team. They're going to whoop them up. It's going to be in the high 30s. Who you got?
I got Houston. I don't like covering a big point spread, but I'm taking this one because I think Miami is horrible.
They bad. At Detroit, the Lions are going to lay 7.5 to the St. Louis Rams. I'm taking the Lions. I think they're going to maul these guys. I think they're ready. I think the Lions are pretty good. I think they're close to being in that upper echelon of the NFC, and I think they're going to prove it. Who are you taking?
2 points on this. Dome team coming to play another dome team. I don't think you get that great of an home field advantage in that. And Chris Houston, cornerback for the Lions, did not practice. Louis Delmas still did not practice. I think the Lions secondary is going to be horrible. They're going to make Bradford look like Bart Starr. I think the Lions win, but I think it's going to be a close one, coming down to the last seconds to win this one as they make St. Louis look like a powerhouse team. And I think St. Louis is bad, but they do have a decent defense. Those two injuries in the secondary, that scared the crap out of me. I'm taking St. Louis in the points.
I think they're going to make a Bradford sandwich. All right. Atlanta is going to lay 3 on the road at Kansas City. I'm taking Kansas City at home, getting the 3 points. I'm not scared of Atlanta. Mello, who are you scared of?
Yeah, Kansas City, here I come.
Nice. At Green Bay, the Packers are going to lay 5. That's right, 5 points to the San Francisco 49ers? Really? Seriously? I'm taking the 49ers. This should be a close game for all intents and purposes. I mean, San Francisco could win the game. They might not,
question.
but they could. And I think it's going to at least be within 5 points. So give me San Francisco. Seems like a freebie.
I mean, anybody in their right mind is taking San Francisco in this game. That's why I'm taking Green Bay on this one to cover.
Nice. The man has lost his gourd. All right, Carolina, nothing's finer, is going to lay 2.5 points on the road at Tampa Bay. Give me Cam Newton. I'm going to take Carolina laying the 2.5 at Tampa Bay. I think we get to see some more Cam Newton highlights. Mello, who you got?
I did a lot of calculations on this game, and my figures, well, I got an abbreviation here. My figures say Newton. It says Fig Newton right there. So I'm taking Carolina just on the strength of Cam Newton and the fact that Tampa Bay, you got to have time for all your high-priced free agents to mesh here. So it's going to be a little while before they get on track, I think.
I agree with you. Seattle They're going to lay 2.5 points on the road at Arizona. This should be a barn burner. Go ahead. I'm feeling froggy. Pencil me in for Seattle. I think they got something going here, and I think they're going to go on the road and they're going to helter-skelter get it done. Who you got?
I got Seattle. Wait till you see this defense. And I'm telling you, they got some maulers on that offensive line. I think people are going to be surprised when they see the strength of both lines of Seattle and how good their defense is going to be. I got this as a no-brainer. Seattle all the way, baby.
I'm telling you what, if Seattle makes some noise this year, I will dress up like a Seahawk.
Oh, boy.
And I will parade around the studio.
Okay, as long as you don't go outside because, something, an eagle or something might swoop down on you.
At Denver, the Broncos are going to lay 1.5 to the guy that's going to go be with his baby, the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, so I'm taking Denver. I'm going to take Denver. They're going to get this done here. You got a guy focused on childbirth, and we're over here focusing on football, and the air's thin up here, so good luck with that. Who are you taking?
I don't like that injury to DeCastro for the Pittsburgh. I don't like their offensive line, to tell you the honest truth. They're getting a little long in the tooth on defense. Last year, they didn't get the turnovers that you normally get out of them. So by default, I'm taking Denver on this one.
And then we got a Monday Night Football doubleheader.
That's it twice.
So at Baltimore, the Ravens are going to lay 6.5 to the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is where I test it right here. This is where I test what I said in the preseason episode. I'm taking Cincinnati getting that 6.5. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. My fictitious money where my real mouth is. Mello, who you taking?
Baltimore Ravens are going to run that hurry-up offense, and their defense is going to come after Andy Dalton like he was a red-headed step quarterback. I got Baltimore all the way in this one.
Nice. Oh, nice. I don't know if any of that was politically correct, but it was funny. And lastly, the Sunday night late game. The San Diego Chargers will lay 1 point on the road as they face my Oakland Raiders. I've got to do it. I've got to pull the trigger on it. The Oakland Raiders, they're going to start out 1-0. They're going to win this game. We don't need your stinking 1 point. Who are you taking, Mello?
I knew you would take Oakland, so thus I took Norv and the boys. Give me Phillip Rivers and company. Even though I really don't believe that they're going to win this game, I took them just to spite you.
Awesome. At least we come together in the spirit of harmony. All right, that's going to do it for the picks. Mello, anything that you want to cover that we may have missed?
One of my insiders says, remember that Lions, Rams, Jeff Fisher, mentor for Lions coach. So he knows him inside and out, and they don't look for them to run away, Lions to run away from these guys, because the fish will have something for you.
Oh, okay.
And my strong play really is the Seattle game. I've been in love with that one all week. I might be wrong, but I like Seattle over Arizona as one of my stronger plays.
Okay. If you had to pick overall, that you think that's the good one?
That's my number one pick right there. The Green Bay, that's just, I think Vegas is setting a trap, so I'm going to trip it. And another one with the Jets and Buffalo. The smart money, I would say, would be to take Buffalo in the division, getting the 3 points, and I went the other way on that one as well.
I think New England's going to mollywop Tennessee. I really do.
I think there's the possibility for that because Britt isn't playing, nope. And Locker, do you really believe in him?
Somebody's going to be cleaning out their locker this year.
Yeah, we're going to clean out his locker, all right. Stuff him in his locker, probably.
So that's the way I'd have to go. I'd say New England if I had to say something right now. Remember, though, folks, we wait until the last possible minute.
Yeah.
in real life, if you really were to do
several hours of new information to come in, and there's nothing worse than laying her down and then finding out there's so-and-so's not playing, huh?
The entire offensive line has the flu. Awesome.
Or food poisoning.
Amazing. They all have staph infections. All right. Mello, anything else?
That's all I got, baby.
All right, folks. That's going to do it for the inaugural edition of Season 7 Mello's NFL Weekly. So for Mello Bets, I'm Hank Davis. Until next time, my friends, we're signing off.